I have that choice. I can choose one assignment, I may not choose something.
I'm engineer by degree and entrepreneur by heart.
I'd started with a capital of ₹1,00,000 from my graphics, and I thought it was huge.
My role of providing the leadership to the leaders of KGV.
It helps us build models, build an institution, hopefully will work long term.
Go out and take the plunge. Never be frightened of taking a risk.
It's unexplainable to say about the satisfaction levels.
My name is Rikin Gandhi. I work at Digital Green. I have a undergraduate degree in computer science from Carnegie Mellon University, and I have a master's in aeronautics and astronautics from MIT. So we use every possible source of placement services to identify candidates for our team. I think we've used job portals, we've used our own website, we've used recruiting agencies, we've worked with career cells of colleges and universities, from IITs to triple ITs to Tata School for Social Science. So we've tried out a number of these sorts of avenues, but I think our main two large sources of identifying sort of this 59 people that we have in our team today is largely these fresh grads who have come out of places like the Tata Institute for Social Science or IRMA or from DAICT or Triple IT Delhi. And then for the mid-career and the more senior managers of our team, we found that those individuals have been best found through our own sort of social networks. The main sort of way in which we keep our team motivated is really to bring the whole team into having this shared vision of what we can be as an organization and what sort of impact we can have both within ourselves at the first level and then perhaps in the external world of development in which we're engaged. And that's where things like this performance management system have a huge role to play, because we want to make sure that we're supporting our team members at each stage in their sort of development in this journey and as an organization as a whole. And so we have a variety of types of training programs that we conduct. Some are, as I said, more technical in nature. Some of them are on processes of a human nature, like how to be an effective leader or how to coach one another, and provide opportunities depending on where an individual might be. And especially in a growing organization, there's just a growing amount of opportunities that exist. So for individuals who might be interested in international sorts of activities, now we have some of this work that's begun in Africa. And so this provides opportunities for our team members to go out there and also to be able to capture learnings that they might be able to bring back here that we would be able to share across the team. We're also engaging external resource persons who might be, for example, like filmmakers, where we might be able to continue to develop the state of the art of our video production training that we do with the communities that we do in the fields by engaging these filmmakers, so that we're not just sort of like stagnant. There's always sort of a growth plan for each individual and for each sort of part of the team. I think you need to have a sort of a compelling sort of vision that's built around continuous learning and innovation, such that there isn't sort of stagnation in an individual organization's growth. Now, of course, there's going to be complementary things that we also do, as most organizations do, through things like orientation programs and retreats and staff recognition of celebrating successes. And that's, of course, part and parcel of what we do. But to continue to motivate and incentivize individuals to come on board and to stay on board with the organization's vision, you need to really develop this sort of shared vision, so that it's not just sort of a single person's sort of objective that people are just trying to contribute to. The rate of talent has been fairly minimal. I'd say our team has largely just been growing. We spun off from Microsoft Research in 2008, and we had an initial group of about 12 individuals. And then in about 2011, we grew up to about 25 people. And then in the last year, largely a year and a half, we've grown to now this 59 person level. So we have had some turnover. It's largely been of the variety that because we are recruiting a large fraction of fresh graduates from colleges, a number of them, especially amongst our technology team, are interested in sort of higher study. So we had at one point about 2 years ago, almost 90% of the technology team went abroad to go pursue graduate studies in the US. Some of the merits of working with unconventional employees would be about trying to bring in sort of expertise that we might not have immediately on staff, as well as to experiment with new directions that we might want to consider the organization to go into, but where we are not yet fully vested in doing so. But till then, we can at least bring in some of their expertise to our team and see how much can they internalize and how much can they apply, and is it really useful to go in that direction? Should we go further? In some cases, we're also able to test the waters for people who we brought on board full time. So we had sort of our CFO, who we now have as our chief financial officer. She actually started with us as a consultant for like about 6 months. And that was great for her to kind of start establishing relationships, understanding the organization, us to understand her. And then when we saw that things were starting to build and it required sort of full-time attention, then we were able to sort of bring her on board full-time. So I think it's useful to engage with these unconventional sorts of resources. To let go of his or herself. And by that I mean it's natural when you're starting up a social enterprise, or any enterprise for that matter, that you as the lead entrepreneur will have a lot to say and to think that you have at stake in realizing whether your sort of vision succeeds or not. But the sort of key learning for social entrepreneurship is that it's so important to bring other people together to be able to achieve these shared objectives. If you focus on yourself, that's to the detriment of other people's being interested in the first place, and two, being able to see where your own gaps might lie in what you seek to achieve.